At home, you're with Adelaide Eternal, bringing you the final round of our December Highlander Challenge. I'm Sarven McLinton, and in the booth here with me is Drew Carter.
Hi everyone.
So, Drew, you're in this match. We actually have a showdown of two Adelaide Eternal team members, with Drew Carter on the right, and on the left is none other than Beckett Wolfe. Let's have a look at his player profile. This is Beckett Wolfe. He is mostly composed of French bread, but he also has some skills at magic. We're going to see some of that magic today with his deck, which is called Junk, or Value Junk. This is his list.
Yeah, he's done particularly well with Highlander. Tell us about this list, because I know you used to love rocking something like this a few years ago.
Oh yeah, this was my first ever Highlander deck, and the reason I built it was because it was cheaper, because it didn't need any blue jewels. So you just kind of need your scrubland, your bayou, and your
okay,
savannah.
So, budget list.
Budget list, right? Nowadays, not so much. But it's really cool because since then, points have come off the deck. Back when I was playing it, there were a lot of points around like Steel Shaper's Gift and the like. But now Steel Shaper's Gift is 0. Caracas is now being put into the deck. Wasteland is being put into the deck because we've got so much space. And that's exactly what Beckett's doing.
And this is just before Strip Mine was depointed. So he's now upgraded Wasteland to Strip Mine in recent days. But this is still the Wasteland build.
Yeah,
and he's still paying the point for Caracas here as well, so he hasn't got that bonus either.
Yeah, so like the fact that Wasteland is in the deck allows you to do some recursion things like Renegade Rallier, where you Wasteland them, and that triggers Renegade Rallier's Revolt, and then you play him again. You play Wasteland again and Wasteland the second time in the same turn, which is pretty strong. Also, Birthing Pod is obviously a key to the deck, and a new card in the form of Knight of Autumn allows you to go through the Birthing Pod chains, do a variety of different things, and that 3-drop slot, which used to be pretty glutted with things like Kitchen Finks and the like, used to have you had a choice to run Reclamation Sage in the slot there somewhere, and we always found that playing Value Junk, it was great for value when it had a target, and when it didn't have a target, you're just sitting there on turn 2 with your Mana Dork out and going, I want to play 3-drop, I want to get ahead, but I can't because I'm just playing a 2/1 no value. Nowadays, you can play a pseudo Tarmogoyf in the form of a 4/3 Knight of Autumn.
And this deck just keeps getting more good tools. Like Assassin's Trophy was a big addition to it this year. Yeah, we saw this in round 1 in like a mid-range mirror, but I'm on Control. Maybe then we'll think about how it plays against Control.
Yeah, so this is your list now up on the screen.
Yeah, so I've done a deck tech on this. This is Bourbon and Coke, or Jeskai Miracles.
And for those who don't know why it's called Bourbon and Coke, do you want to give them a primer?
As I said in the deck tech, yeah, Beckett himself spilled Bourbon and Coke all over the deck. So
and it was not double sleeved. It was terrifying, a terrifying moment.
We didn't catch that on camera. That's not this match, though, so that's okay. And no, Beckett replaced any damaged cards, so that was the start of our friendship. That was good.
Nice.
Yeah, so this list tries to abuse balance as pictured there, and Mystical Tutor is one way to do that. So its points are in Mystical, balance. Sensei's Top is really good too. Look for balance or activate Entreat the Angels, which is your other Mystical Tutor target.
I really like how it is a balance deck, like you've said before. You know, you're all about the balance, and things are built around it, right?
Yeah, the artifacts are there exactly for that reason. They're kind of little. The top, the claws, and the furnace are like little piggy banks. Like you put them down, cast your balance, and then you cash them in for a card again.
Nice.
So you start rebuilding. So if you rebuild faster than your opponent, you're doing well. And it's also got Planeswalkers there as to play that role. They're not affected by balance. So,
and the new cards in the deck are things like Khan's Scion of Urza and Teferi, Hero of Dominaria.
Yeah,
right?
I kind of shelved this deck because I couldn't beat Grixis Control, but then Dominaria came out and I just started playing with it again, and I found that Teferi and Khan on their own just took it to another level, and it just happened to be to keep winning.
Yeah,
so that's why I brought it to this tournament. Yeah.
That's so good. And so, speaking of bringing it to this tournament, both of you are bringing it because you're both undefeated and you're vying for this top spot. This is the finals, and basically whoever wins this will be the champion of the December Highlander Challenge. And
yeah, and it would be my first Highlander win. I don't have a trophy yet, so I really want this.
Yeah,
but Beckett wants it too because he wants more trophies to catch up to you. So we both wanted it quite badly, and Beckett said he's going to make me play for it. So we'll go down to the game in a minute. But I remember his body language. He really did. the competitive Beckett came out. He was just like quiet. His kind of posture changed, and he gave me. I don't think he gave me like full throttle Beckett, but like 9/10 or 8/10 of full throttle Beckett was there. So
8/10 of full throttle Beckett.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
A lot. Yeah, it is. It's I know that feeling where you're like, hey, do you want an ID and go get some dinner? And he's like, yeah, well, ID, but I want a bash.
Well, this wasn't that. This was playing for everything, prizes included. So there was no gentleman's agreement here. It was like fight to the death.
So this is Raw now. We're now in Fight Club.
Yeah.
So this is going to be... Let's go down to the match and see the battle of the Adelaide Eternal heavyweights here, vying for the win.
So who do you think is favoured in this match, just in terms of the lists?
Well, it'll largely be based on the die roll as well, I think. So Beckett there's at 8, you're on 6. So if Beckett's on the play, I think Beckett is favoured because of the fact that he goes turn 1, Lanois Elves, turn 2, 3 drop, and then just tries to overrun you. But I think if he's on the draw, you're able to really try and find a way to leverage a balance or dominate the early game. What do you think?
Well, I'm definitely scared of his equipment because that gets around my balance and it gives him a way to generate value and pressure and lots of things. So, but generally, I think Control should beat mid-range just in terms of the colour.
Oh,
yes.
that is the literal exchange that we'd be talking about, right? Some kind of mana dork on turn 1, and your hand is pretty nice there with a ponder and the like.
But
this is a mana dork and a Inquisition of Kozilek type of hand.
But my mana's quite awkward. I don't think I have any blue mana.
Ooh,
but I have a clause to dig for mana.
Scrabbling claws to find mana.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I've got the top. So
Better
I think well, I've got top. I can find what I need. Maybe I've got Field of Ruin as well. I'm thinking, do I do it in my upkeep because I really want the land?
It's pretty critical, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then again, you could dig one deeper by drawing it. And then,
but I don't want to cash in the top to get the land. I think I'll just draw it. Yeah. I drew Force of Will.
Nice.
Now I'm looking for the land.
So and are there any other lands in the hand, or is it? Oh, that's a balance as well.
Balance, yeah. Then 2 lands.
Okay, that's exactly what you want to see, right? Volcanic Island, Basic Plains, balance.
So now my plan is I've got to set up a board where I can get max value out of the balance. So he's already got 2 creatures, I think, because balance is good against the Dryad Arbor
because it does creatures.
It does
first,
one first.
Whichever one it does first, it makes it harder for you, right?
It does lands first, then creatures. So it's going to kill the Dryad Arbor?
Yeah.
Yeah,
regardless, they're going to lose a Dryad Arbor. Because they don't want to kind of lose a land and then lose a creature.
Yeah, they just suck it as a land. Yeah. But if you've got equal lands, then I think they just lose the Dryad Arbor. I'm not sure. Yeah.
So here we see Scrabbling Claws in action. So for those who haven't played this, I believe it's in Standard now, isn't it? So
yeah.
And
I can get a foil version.
Yeah, awesome.
A new one.
Of the wrong art. So the Scrabbling Claws is basically a Relic of Progenitus Light. It doesn't hit your graveyard, but it also doesn't hit the entirety of their graveyard. So it's kind of pinpoint removal. You can pay 1 and target a specific card, and then
Otherwise, you're just tapping to get rid of a card of their choice. It's
similar to Relic.
But at least it's asymmetrical. It doesn't hurt my. Yeah, that's a good one. That's ramp as well as pressure.
This is a great example of how good Renegade Rallier is, and it's criminally underplayed in Highlander. The best spaces for it are the pod decks, but it can be played in things like more aggressive green-white builds. But the thing is, you don't really want to be generating value there as much as you do want to be in pod decks. So
it's really good when you get Stoneforge Mystic back and come into play effects like that.
Oh, so good.
Or Wasteland, and you do double Wasteland. But now, so I had Force of Will, but I chose to let that resolve because I think, the balance can get me the value back. That's okay. But then he has this the hand hate. But I think the balance is on top of the deck.
Yeah. The balance is either second or... wait, there's a top, and then it's either the second or the third card down.
Yeah. So I took the Volcanic. And I'm thinking, do I force this? No. So what have I got? I've got Drain, Ponder, and Karn, and Dak.
Yeah, so like this hand, it's a good hand. The problem is that he's on the play and he had a mana dork.
And I didn't have double blue for Drain. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the double, not having the double blue for the Drain and the like. It's tricky there. Like, do you? Well, I guess you just don't care if he takes a Ponder. He takes a Ponder because that's what I'm looking at. With the Inquisition, he could take the Dak, but you can just Attack the DAC. Yeah, I agree.
took the
Taking
Ponder.
Ponder is the way to go there. And this is Steel Shaper's Gift. Again, recently unpointed. It's recently-ish. It's down to 0 points and is a nice way to fetch your pointed cards like Umezawa's Jitte and Skullclap.
Would you leave me with DAC knowing you had Steel Shaper's Gift?
I think I would take the DAC.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't know they had the gift at that time, and in retrospect, I agree with you. Because otherwise, it's just cumbersome, right? Like, you know they have the DAC, and you're having to play around it. Sometimes you just take the DAC and go, look, you know. But I see what he means. He's got 4 power on the board. He can just attack DAC.
Well, he's got 5 with the land as well.
True, very true. Yeah, which should be on the battlefield at the top, not in the lands.
Oh,
bracket.
okay. No, I was
For this very reason.
I was very mindful of it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is an official statement from Wizards.
So I'm thinking, do I need to balance now, or can I buy another turn?
How much greed do you have?
Yeah, I think I probably do go for another turn, because I will probably want to get DAC down before I balance, just to get more value out of it.
Yeah, very true. That makes sense.
I probably should force as well before I balance to go down on cards as well, but...
Would you force a Skull Clamp here? Just to deny...
No, I wouldn't, because I've got DAC.
Yeah.
And I think I can get it with DAC.
So you'd probably force whatever he casts off the Skull Clamp. You know, he clamps his Dryad, and then he ends up drawing a Strangleroot Geist or something, and you want to count that, maybe.
So I missed the planes there as well. I don't know why.
So I guess you drew the top, but the planes is on top, so you don't...
Yeah, I'll just left it.
So this is
That's annoying. I have to force that because that gets around balance.
Oh yeah. Garruk is great. So Garruk, Relentless, another criminally underplayed card in Highlander. It was mainly out of favour recently because the best deck in the format was Grixis Control, and Grixis Control plays Lightning Bolts and Lightning Bolt variants like Chain Lightning. Another thing to deal 3 damage to Planeswalkers. So he's really not that good in that kind of a meta.
Look how far ahead Beckett is here. He's got like 5 lands after this fetch. I've got 2.
Yeah, this is one of the ones where I think if I'm in Beckett's seat, having played against you specifically, I'm worried about balance. You know, I'm always worried about balance. Oh, he's missed a land drop, and you know, like I'm always kind of thinking, oh no, I'm going to get wrecked somewhere. But if you don't know your opponent plays balance, it's one of the least played cards in the format, right?
Do you play DAC here or balance?
I think you played. Look, if you play DAC, is there a chance that he just doesn't attack the DAC because you're on 10 and he tries to race you? Which would be incorrect, I believe. You should just attack the DAC, right?
I think he would attack the DAC. No, he's got the clamp in the hand.
So here's the balance.
Yeah, it's not ideal having to cast it without the top in play. But I think I'm worried about my life at this point.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
I just snap it off.
Yep. No, that seems fair. So this is going to be something like a maybe 3-for-1-ish?
More.
Or maybe... Let's see. So it's going to be...
There's 2 lands and 2
lands,
creatures.
2 creatures. It's 4, and you discard 1 card? Okay, so that's a 2-for-4. I mean, getting 2 2-for-1s is great, right?
Still, I'm not feeling,
max value.
No, I'm not feeling great having to discard the Khan. But at least my plan is now I can drop DAC. I've got insurance against the equipment.
And so this is
annoying.
interesting because his last card is Skull Clamp, and he doesn't know whether or not he wants to play it and clamp it because he knows you can just grab it.
But he can get instant. But he can get instant cards right now.
But he has no pressure to kill the DAC.
No. So he's out. He's only got 2 random cards.
He needs to have some kind of creature here.
Wasteland
this is good. That's a really, really good card there because it denies you your DAC Faden, amongst other things. So
yeah, I pop that, try and start rebuilding. Probably digging for the 3rd land to cast DAC.
So what do you take? Just a creature because they're more recurable?
Yeah, I'm thinking of Titania or something like that.
Oh yeah,
for the land.
Great point. Yeah, Wasteland is a nice one target there as well.
Yeah.
So you end up getting to draw a card there and draw a card for your turn. And you're really, really hoping that you just sick ripped a blue land, but there's no blue land.
Well, it was the top. I knew the top was there.
Yeah.
So still the DAC can't come down yet, and I'm still feeling behind on tempo.
For sure.
And not much blue
mana.
mana.
Missing a land here. Yeah, do you crack it to get the land? What if it's a fetch land? Yeah, it's kind of cumbersome, isn't it? It is a fetch land.
I think I should. I think at this point I should just get rid of the top. It's done its work.
I see.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I do.
That's interesting. You know, at what point do you get rid of your top just because you need to, crack for a steam vents or something? Because that's probably what you need to hit here, right? Steam vents, and you don't really want to pay the life. Right?
Yeah.
You don't want to go to 7. Even though the board looks pretty stable.
Yeah, I'm not too scared of going 7 because he doesn't have any reach. But yeah, it's not ideal.
I guess I've played against many a Strangler guys to be too worried.
And I think the top's value is diminished as well, knowing that the DAC can kind of loot anyway.
True.
So the value of top is a lot lower when you're looting with DAC.
Very true. And so here Beckett hits another land, but he doesn't hit another
Yeah,
creature.
I do draw it, but I think that was a mistake.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of hindsight, right? When you look at it, you go, oh, you know. You go to 7, but again, there's no Dryad Arbor coming off that Verdant Catacombs.
And I can just steal the equipment here. That feels pretty good.
Just deny him to a draw 2 next turn.
So I should have fetched that end of turn to save on life and
not draw a top
and get a fresh draw. But I'm probably thinking, well, top's a great card. I want to keep it.
Yeah, but maybe say top decking a land there would have been really nice. Right? Now, even though you probably really only have maybe one or two opportunities to equip a clamp. The clamp is just basic. This was a destruction spell, right?
Yeah, I don't have. I've only got Clique and JVP, but yeah.
So looting here with DAC is pretty relevant. You know, anyone who's been on the receiving end of your opponent untapping with a DAC Faden knows that feeling, that sinking feeling where they're discarding cards and you go, oh no, your hand is really good. I can't see it, but I know it's good.
See, I got rid of the top anyway, so I should have just shuffled it away earlier.
Fair point.
Yeah, I'm going down low here.
Yeah, going to 5.
No, actually, I think I have a cheeky takes his backsies here because I remember the Thalia's in play.
Oh, yeah, because it comes into play tapped.
And I thought, I'll kill that first.
Yep, seems fair.
I drew that off. That was the last card I drew off DAC.
Seems fair.
And I think I've still got Drain.
So, you've got Drain active.
Oh no,
Remand, because you would have discarded the Drain or exiled the Drain for the
I exiled it.
Force.
Yeah.
So, I missed what was remanded. Was it just a mana dork or something? What was it? 1 mana, something for 1 mana?
It might have been a discard spell which forced me to do it.
Yeah.
I think
that's fair. Like, you just needed to cycle, right?
Yeah, well, he was going to... I have got Brainstorm in hand, which is not great. But,
I mean, you've drawn one of the best blue spells in the format, right?
But what's the value when
it's
you've
the
got
top deck? Yeah. And the number of times I discard Brainstorm to DAC, it's just because Brainstorm does nothing, right? When you've got DAC out, DAC's just gas.
But in terms of board position, I don't feel too bad here, but my life's so low that any threat is a real problem.
Yeah.
And that's partly... Yeah, I took 2 damage when I didn't need to with the Steam Dance.
Kitchen Finks is... Yeah, I mean, the fact that Kitchen Finks has 3 power here and is going to either kill DAC or attack you.
Yeah, and survive like Lightning Bolt and things like that. It's annoying. If I get swords, it's okay.
Yeah, this is the advantage. When we've been talking about Grixis control being really good, this is an advantage of white. You have access to Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, those kind of effects that, Council's Judgment, just deal with things permanently, get them out of the game, and ensure that your opponent doesn't get any value off them like Kitchen Finks would be.
At this point, I'm digging for like big business, like Jace the Mind Sculptor, or Narsil or Teferi, some kind of permanent that'll get me recurring advantage and allow me to like really gain advantage out of the balance because I still haven't pulled ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Dramatically.
And when your opponent's not running Lightning Bolt effects, where you get to slam a Teferi and tuck the Kitchen Finks onto a stable board,
it's amazing. Safe.
Yeah.
I've got Clique. That was a mistake. See, I've draw step Clique to try and... I should have main phased it, then clamped it
for sure.
Yeah, so I missed that line.
You can expect that his hand is going to be Swords to Plowshares or some like removal spells that have had 0 targets for the whole game. Like if he's not playing spells and not playing lands, it means the hand is removal.
But I know that his deck is quite vulnerable to hand disruption because if you disrupt the right mix of spells, you can have the wrong half of his deck. But yeah, that was a big mistake. I missed out. Well, maybe I was thinking I wanted to block the Kitchen Finks as well to save the DAC or save my life.
Yep. But then if you wanted to block, then you probably wouldn't draw step it because it still dies to a Liliana Last Hope or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to have the best of both. So
there's the decay. Well, so as expected. Yeah. So
but that would have died in combat anyway.
I don't know about attacking you, even though you go to 2. Personally, I think killing DAC is more irrelevant because what happens is DAC ends up finding the Swords to Plowshares.
Hopefully. I'm desperate.
So that was the time walk spell, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm just digging for the removal that I need.
One Scrabbly Boy, one Furnace Boy.
Yeah.
Phyrexian Claws, Scrabbling, Furnace, etc., etc. So
I'm just thinking, was that the bottom card? Did you reorder it?
Yeah, have you retained Graveyard Order?
Yeah.
Because
so if at a tournament you need to keep the Graveyard Order, it's my fault. Yeah,
because you're on mono Scrabbling Furnace.
Yeah.
One advantage there is when you sit down to play against your opponent and you go, please maintain Graveyard Order this game. Then they just think that you are Reanimator or something, you know? And you're like, oh, okay, right, you got like Corpse Dance or one of those. I don't know what the names of the Reanimate spells are, but some of them do have to retain.
So I died there. So how would you summarise that game? I mean, I found the balance, but I couldn't recover quickly enough, and I didn't get huge value off it. I just lost too many land drops early, and he pulled ahead, and I lost life. I don't know. I
would summarise this game as exactly what mid-range wants to do against control, which is be on the play a Llanowar Elves turn 1. It got misstepped, but he followed up with another threat, and then followed it up with another threat, and then followed it up with 2 threats, you know? That's just what mid-range needs to do. And sure, sometimes you just get blown out by your opponent's Day of Judgment effect, but the fact that you're able to be proactive and your opponent has to deal with it is really the game plan he wants to be enacting, and that's what he did.
And I couldn't really pull ahead in cards. Like the only card advantage spells I cast was I got a 4 for 2 for balance, and I got a 2 for 1 with Dak by stealing the equipment.
Yep.
But that were the only sources of card advantage. I didn't get any other 2 for 1s. So
yeah.
I didn't get the Planeswalker down that could give me actual card advantage like Jace, Khan, or Teferi, or Narset.
And you compare it to Junk, which is, value Junk is tribal 2 for 1s, alright? Like, is that the Idris deck, tribal 2 for 1s?
or Betsar's Value Train.
Yeah, that's right.
So how I'm sideboarding. I'll look at my sideboard plan.
Yep.
So I've got moons. I'm not sure if I'll bring them in. I mean,
yeah, it's never good against these guys because they not only do they have Junk has 4+ basic lands, but also when they have 7+ mana dorks, it's just cumbersome. You try to moon them, but they're also 1 turn ahead because of acceleration, and they've already got some threats out. And when you finally land it, you had to fire and ice some mana dorks. So it's just too cumbersome.
I think I do try it though, because I think my plan is to kind of wipe the board anyway with balance or removal, and then stabilize. And then if I can slam it to lock the game down, I think you're right, but I think I do board it in.
I guess it depends on the player too. Like I know Beckett is a basic land fetcher. He is a basic land.
I haven't
fetcher.
Noticed that. Yeah.
So sometimes when we're playing, I just kind of curse myself when I'm looking at this Blood Moon in my hand, and he's just like, "Why not play around it?" And he just fetches a basic forest,
It'd be interesting. Watch this one. I don't reckon he will. So these here are Beckett's cards.
Alright, so Carpet of Flowers, Choke, Thrun, Smiter, Thalia, and Flying Pegasus Thalia.
Yeah, so it's the Choke and the Carpet of Flowers that he takes out those.
And then he takes out, Abrupt Decay, Ooze, other Thalia, Knight, Swords to Plowshares, and Kazali.
So he takes out his enchantment and removal there. So Blood Moon could be good actually if I can stick it.
Oh yeah.
But
maybe he's just not expecting Blood Moon from you because he's thinking you're like a 3-color deck.
I don't think I've shown it in this build.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But I definitely bring in Submerge and Wear Tear for the Choke and the equipment and the Carpet of Flowers. I think I bring in Lightning Helix to just help with stabilization a bit. But they're the main ones: the Submerge, Wear Tear, Lightning Helix, and maybe the Blood Moons.
So now, whilst you've told us about your sideboarding strategy, and we've seen Beckett's sideboard strategy whilst we're waiting, I will ask you a question about misdirection.
Here we go.
Oh, here's your sideboard.
Here's what I'm taking out. That's a lot of cards.
Click, Ancestral Vision, Expansion, Explosion, Cerebral Vortex, Time Thingy.
There was Gideon in there. I think Gideon's good. I probably took that. I probably took out the white spells just because I'm bringing the Blood Moon.
Right.
I took out the double white.
That feels bad when you're like, take out your good. Okay, Lightning Helix. Oh yeah, so 3 or 4 removal spells, Blood Moons, and Magister Moon. Yep. All right, seems nice. So what I was going to ask before is
there's only 12 of my sideboard cards here, so
They probably got cut off. Either got cut off on the printer or either got cut off on
Yeah.
and we don't even know what those other three are.
No, there's Timely Reinforcements.
Timely Reinforcements, that's a good card.
And Fiery Confluence.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, at least we're definitely gonna see them this game, right?
I definitely am really happy to bring Fiery Confluence against his creatures and his equipment. That's a big card I depend on.
Speaking of big, he's brought in this big piece of paper that is also known as the F6 Storm.
I think I'm ducking off to the toilet here, actually. Like, apologies. Mid-final.
Toilet break.
Insert sound effects here.
If we were a radio show and you'd have the flushing noise and all these kind of like sound bite things. So to fill the time, I was going to ask a question about misdirection. So I've tried playing misdirection here and there, and it often is only in metas when I notice that people are playing a lot of power, like Ancestral Recall, and also in metas where there's a bit of fair bit of mid range, and you want to redirect an Abrupt Decay or a Thought Seize or something like that. Those are the kind of metas that I feel like I play misdirection, and those times it's okay. Like, it's not great, but it's okay. Is it a case that you're playing it because of balance and it gets you one card down?
That's right. I've got it in the sideboard, not the main, because I wanted it against Grixis because the balance was very key to resolve and very hard to resolve. And it was like I just playing it as Force of Will number 2, where I'm forcing through this powerful spell. It's good against Hymn to Turak. It's good against Mind Twist, which is seeing a lot of play at this point.
That'd be sweet against Mind Twist.
Yeah, and it's also good against Burn, and this is like there's Burn in this meta as well. You just get a free point. 2-for-1. Oh, it's a 2-for-2, but it's at 0 mana. So.
Oh yeah, and sometimes when your opponent goes, "I've got the win," and they bolt you, and you redirect that bolt to their creature that was going to kill you. Feels very good.
Well, that was on camera. You almost stole a match with the misdirection.
That's right.
They had the snap for the Pyroblast or snap or something.
Yeah, I was like, punish for sinking something with click because he got one card deeper. I remember that. So now you're on the play. I think that given that you're on the play, I'm
not feeling good though.
Oh, you wouldn't be. Like you're one game down and one game away from dream crushing. This is where your dreams of getting into the Hall of Heroes with your very first challenge win.
And I've been tuning this kind of a Jeskai control deck for like literally 2 or 3 years at this point.
Yeah, that's right. And you go, finally, it's my chance. Oh no! And then you got the Simon and Garfunkel playing in the background whilst Beckett just thrashes you game 1.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
And you go, but I played my balance. How is this? This isn't fair.
Well, I didn't recur the balance. That's what. No.
True.
No, I didn't. That's okay.
You played 2 of your points. Beckett played none of them.
Yeah.
I guess you played Clamp.
I had a bad hand last game. I possibly should have mulled it, but I kept it to see how it would pan out. So there's mission briefing, maybe a braid. And another spell.
Or something?
Yeah, no, I think it's like 4 lands. I think it's very land heavy, and it's another sketchy hand. But I need to learn to mulligan more. I don't mulligan. I really don't like mulliganing, so I keep it, even though this is my life's on the line. Does Beckett keep his hand?
So Beckett's hand is sketchy, but it has a scry. So he's got a 2-land hand with a Loxodon Smiter in it. And he scried to the bottom.
And I'm groaning here.
And he's got Deathrite Shaman, or he maybe got that off the top. I'm not sure. I didn't see the full hand.
Yeah, I mean, that Deathrite Shaman is the last thing I want to see on turn 1.
Oh, for sure. Especially when you got mission briefing too. It's kind of annoying when you were hoping to here's the Abrade. Yep, you got to snap that Abrade off. So yeah, mana dorks are so important, especially in the early game when you just here's a Thought
and then he takes my mission briefing, and I've got 4 lands in hand.
Oh no! Well, it looks like your dream, your dream of being in the Hall of Heroes is well and truly done and dusted. Thanks for coming and watching, guys.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
We'll see you next week.
but my thinking was, I've got a braid, so if he gets equipment or a dork or whatever, I can kill it, and I can, on turn 4, albeit, I can kill something again and set up the top of my deck. So
and you're on the play, so like the fact that you can do that a turn earlier. But you got Search Res Canter off the top.
Search Res Canter.
Wow, like of all the cards, and now you're under pressure. I mean, this is a 4/4. 4/4s aren't easy to deal with. You need to. I mean, the Scry here is going to be really relevant, or Surveil as well.
Yeah, the Surveil is really good here.
Well, Lightning Helix, that's bad, isn't it, against the 4/4?
Buys me time, but yes, it's bad.
It kills basically... Oh no, it kills Treetop Village. That Treetop Village amongst the lands?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah, the Village people are really, really good at beating down, because with Trample, alongside a 4/4, attacking for 7 is nothing to laugh at. And he knows your hand is 4 lands, plus 1 unknown card. You know, here 3 lands. So save a little bit of life, and hope. Are you just going to cross your fingers? He's not going to fire up the.
I'm hoping to
village,
flip
obviously.
the. Oh, he is.
Oh, actually, no. He doesn't know you got Lightning Helix. That's the one card he doesn't know you have. My bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, snap off that Helix. That feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was good.
The old Stone Rain.
Oh, and then he drops the mum too late. So I'm just looking to hopefully flip this search and find some action to neutralise the board. And I'm thinking this is my last chance to kill the mum or...
Yeah.
Or what do I draw?
So, I mean, I sure hope it's removal for that mum, because otherwise it's going to be a pretty quick...
But I'm not missing my land drops this game.
That's true. No, it's the reverse of the last game.
And I've got...
You got a Colonnade that could fire
and a
up
Wandering Fumarole.
Ooh, very nice. But it is on the top of his deck, which means that he can uncounterably cast it next turn. That's going to be... It's basically just kind of like a time...
So I've just got lands here. I've just got lands and the enchantment.
Oh.
But I figure I have to do it then because Mum's going to be active. So I've got nothing else to do. I'll attack.
I love this. I 100% love this attack. People do not do this enough because they're like, I'll hold up counter spells. I'll hold up this and that. No. Just attack, because if you miss this damage, it's going to change things.
And he just replays the card.
Yep.
So that last turn was 5 mana. Put your creature on top of your deck and do 4 damage.
4 damage to you. Yeah.
That's not a great card, but it's interesting. He's on 12.
Yep, and you flipped Azcanta. You found the location of Azcanta, and it belongs in a museum. So you can activate it and try and find some removal spells. It's pretty wow.
I'm getting good top decks. But
That's good.
But search helps with that.
This isn't the best top deck, given that Mother of Runes will attack it, but it means Mother of Runes will then be tapped. So that's a nice result, net result. So you probably want to keep Hallowed Fountain and Volcanic Island type effect up,
just in case I draw a bolt or something.
Yeah,
but she's active now, isn't she? The mum. Yeah,
she is active, so it will give protection from blue to the big fella. So, I mean, you can bluff that you've got a removal spell, but regardless, with this kind of a bluff, they always activate it anyway.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter.
I just dig, yeah.
There are times where you bluff by bouncing the mum, and they activate the mum to give protection to the Loxodon instead of itself.
Fearing Swords or something.
Yeah, and so there's situations where you do that. Now, a shock here, that is scary, because, you know, it is a race, and it is, oh, wow, this is so good. So it won't protect Jace, because protection from white can be given to the elephant,
and I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking, oh, I'm sweet, I'm set up.
Yeah,
and he just smashes in straight away.
Yeah, no brainer. Like, this is a decision. I'm gonna get him. So Jace is out of here. Jace got a Brainstorm and gain 4 life, and tap a Mother of Runes, which is not irrelevant. So here we have 2 more 1-drops. I mean, a Fire and Ice or something here would be amazing.
Yeah, or Electrolyze.
Yeah, when you've made them tap their Mother of Runes, and Beckett's probably thinking that. He's like, oh no, you've done this so that.
But I'm starting to think about how much power do I have. I've got 3 guys, and I can attack for another 4. I could do 7. I use it on 2-turn clock, in my mind.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm thinking...
You know, the flying Colonnade cannot be dealt with. I mean, it's flying here. And sometimes when you have your opponent on a Mother of Runes and a Smiter, and it's really hard to deal with, people forget you just got to get out of that Azcanta and just come onto the battlefield and start attacking. You know, you just have to do these things.
Yeah, I want to get him for as much damage as I can while the mum's tapped.
Okay, so that's a trade with 1 token with the Dried Arbor. Does that mean that Beckett is land flooded? He just goes like, I don't need this land.
He might just be worried about his life total. Yeah.
Because it's still 6, though, then the following turn.
Yeah, he must feel that he doesn't need the land.
So crashing in for 4. So the Helix did some work here, changing the life totals. But this is an Inquisition of Kozilek, which you probably don't care about because your plan is just to attack with Colonnade, right? So he just discards that.
He takes that. Yeah. I've got nothing.
Yep.
Well, I've got the search if I need to dig for something, but...
Was that top deck land as well? So you're basically working with lots of land. Lots of land, but you get to attack.
At least when they're Sarah Angels, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, seems good. And now you get to keep your 1/1 blockers up. So maybe we called it too early, because this looks to me like he cannot race that Colonnade. All he can do is just bluff by attacking with this. Yep. Doesn't even give it protection from white pre-combat. So, there's...
Cycle
that, yeah. Well, Vigilance relevant on that Celestial Colonnade. Being able to produce some mana.
And I'm like,
cycle more land?
Do I just jam it here, or what do I do?
Yeah, well, you're immune to Abrupt Decay. You could get Assassin's Trophy. You could get Swords of Plowshare. That's basically it. Yep.
Smash in.
That's the one.
So that,
very, very nice.
It was that Submerge turn that did it. When I was able to get that free 4 points of damage in with the Wandering Fumarole.
Yeah.
That enabled the race and the Lightning Helix.
Yep. And so when you were able to switch gears into a role where you can leverage the mana. So if you didn't have the manlands, you just flood out. But manlands are fantastic at managing that flood because they're essentially a mana sink. This kind of like, oh, I'm flooded, okay, I'll attack you for 4. Oh, I'm flooded, attack you 4. Oh, wait a second. You're on 8. I think it's time for me to actually close this game.
Yeah. I mean, that's not how my deck plays out, but that's all I had.
Yeah. You identified the line.
But Beckett thought he must have thought he had it when all I had was lands. Yeah. And then I top deck search.
Yeah.
There's a bit of filtering. I get some interaction, and then just attack.
Yeah.
I mean, if I didn't have manlands, I had another mana sink in the search to dig for things, but I would have been definitely on the back foot on that plan.
For sure. Oh,
so I was feeling like quite relieved.
Yeah.
At that point.
And now you go, surprised. Okay, now the decider.
Yeah.
So Beckett casually plonks his deck down there on the table, checks his sideboard, and you are off to the races with Beckett on the play. This probably doesn't feel that great to you, right? When against the Lanois Elf deck. When your opponent has 7+ mana dorks in their deck and they're on the play, it feels like they just start off with a Mox Emerald, don't they?
Yeah.
And you go, oh.
But I've got Electrolyze and Fire and things.
Oh, it's a Mother of Runes opener and a single land, but 2 mana dorks. That's very susceptible to not hitting the second land and being a bit clunky. Submerge and
Lightning Helix
is going to do work. Yeah. So
Force off the top.
For those who aren't familiar with when you got 2 mana dorks, leading with the Avacyn's Pilgrim here is good because if your opponent doesn't play a fetch land, you are going to be regretting the fact that you don't have mana. So this is
draw step, end of draw step.
Yeah. So this is basically put this on top of your deck so that you don't even draw it and get to play it. And then you go, oh, curses.
I know, you got another
curses. You not only drew the land, but you also the second dork.
I didn't blank his turn at all there.
Yeah, that feels bad. That interaction there, I feel, puts Beckett firmly ahead here. So that's going to be a pretty big decider here, whether you can drop a 3 mana something. 3 mana to change the board state. It's hard to drop you can't really drop DAC or anything. Did you miss a land drop here? No, you're on the draw. You're on the draw. Yep, sorry. So I missed that. Mana Dork comes back out again, and sign of confidence here as the Deathrite Shaman just crashes into the red zone because it's doing nothing else.
And I get to Lightning Helix it here, I believe.
Yeah, that seems good. I mean, if your opponent misses a land drop and you have a Lightning Helix for one of their mana
like
dorks,
a sinkhole, yeah, and gain life.
And you target the Deathrite Shaman, or do you target the Avacyn's Pilgrim if there's not going to be any other... Because your opponent hasn't played any more lands.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking that it's this moment, which one do I kill? In the end, I just opt for that because...
Opt for the raw power.
Yes, raw power, yeah.
Even though, And, if there's only one fetch land, there's ways you can
I think I've got
stymie
fetch
them.
lands in my hand though.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe not, but
So what was that draw for the turn on the far right? Is that a click?
possibly
or
click.
something?
Yeah.
All right, and you do have lands, so being able to go ahead of your opponent is pretty dramatic here. And it's a Chromox exiling Force of Will. Whoa, it's Khan.
I've got acceleration too, mate.
Yeah, look at that. You definitely go up here because the blocker doesn't do anything. Oh no, the blocker's a 2/2, so it can absorb 1 damage from the Treetop Village, 2 damage from the Treetop Village, and not die.
But he doesn't have much pressure. I just want to
just go
get him
6.
up. So
Yeah,
I get the
sure.
card straight back that I've lost to the Chrome Mox. And the loyalty's so high. That's the thing with Narset and Khan. The loyalty's so high. Even if they've got a slight board presence, they still can't really put much of a dint in it.
They can't.
No, they can't. No.
They can't do that to Khan.
They can put a little dint in it.
So this is the Flying Thalia. Beckett again missing on the 3rd land drop here, 2nd turn in a row, and that's going to be a pretty dramatic change in the game now that you've got an active Planeswalker, 5 mana, and are able to actually really, really be stable here. Your life total is not under any kind of threat. Next turn he's threatening to attack for 5 with flying Thalia and 3/3 village people.
Yeah, the flying's annoying. I can't create a blocker with Khan.
For sure.
It's effective.
I mean, if you...
I think I'm thinking about the claws. If you get the claws, then you can create a 3/3. That's another
not
artifact.
irrelevant. Yeah, because a 3/3 is pretty huge when it's blocking a 3/3 trample. Yeah, I can see that. I guess the problem is that the claws themselves or the furnace costs 2 mana under the
that is really
there,
annoying,
which is pretty huge, right?
And it's kind of just sitting there dead if I want to keep the power and toughness.
So here's you actively fetching out basics. Now this can sometimes show your opponent
to tell.
Well, not necessarily. Like he could be going, "Oh, you're saving life. You don't need to worry about your colours. You've got all the colours you need." Yeah, okay, I can see that. But it's pretty scary.
What happened there? Yeah. I was looking for Sacred Foundry because I want to go down on life because I got timely reinforcements.
Oh,
but
no.
The Sacred Foundry's in my hand.
Oh,
and I think Beckett told me that because he'd seen my hand or something. He's like, Sacred Foundry's in your hand.
Oh, no.
So
that's funny.
So I can't get the life off timely this turn.
Yep. And this would be a great turn for timely.
I think I just jam it anyway because I want the guys.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
So...
That's why I got the basic planes. It wasn't because of
Hashtag timely problems.
Yeah.
Some patented Adelaide Eternal tokens there. 1/1 soldiers, white creatures, and Beckett missing on his land again. It looks like he didn't have a confident look when he drew his card and then shuffled it into his hand. He looked a little bit despondent there.
So he's attacked the Khan, played another dork. He's very slowly developing his mana.
The double Thalia.
That could be hurting him more than me at this point.
Yeah, like he's not live to drawing Black Source and Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy, you know?
But I think he wants to put pressure on the Khan with creatures.
Actually, no, he's got Mana Dork, so it's okay. He can play like...
Yeah, you can do a 4 mana or 5 mana spell.
But he can't play Garruk or something like that.
Or Battle Skull.
That's a Field of Ruin. That's really relevant when your opponent has a trampling 3/3.
Yeah, that's a really nice bit of insurance against the Treetop Village.
So here, Khan just showing what it's there for, which is drawing okay cards. Like, it's never going to be the best card. It's sometimes going to be the worst card, but the worst card in the top deck battle is still a card.
Yeah.
So it's like always a fine, like just subpar card, but not really bad.
Yeah, and the loyalty's just so high.
Yeah.
Just keeping it high is really effective, I find, against creatures.
And you can build up this kind of secondary Bomat Courier-esque hand underneath Khan, and you just go, oh, I'm going to have my pick here later on in the game.
Well, the Electrolyzer's looking pretty sweet on this board.
Oh, killing Thalia and Vryn Wingmare.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at that.
Yeah. So here do you just chump the Thalia for...
Yep. I double block.
Oh, you double... No, you have to triple block, right?
Oh, I must triple, I triple,
Yeah, you triple block up.
Yeah.
So yeah, you trade 2 tokens for it, which is fine. You're probably happy with that.
Yeah, I just want to liberate my spells in my hand a bit from the mana taxing.
For sure. Yeah. And you've got active counterspell, right? So, Mother of Runes. That Electrolyze looking even more tempting for the next turn, right? But then Khan will be on 3.
I think I'm thinking about, do I have to activate field now to have enough mana to counterspell or something like that?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. You kind of go...
But this is bad because I ramp him and I fix his colours.
Yeah, he's probably been looking forward to it, hasn't he? He's going, I'm going to get my black source and I'm ready to Assassin's Trophy something.
Yeah. So this is that's a bit of a misplay, I think. Ramping and fixing colours. But I'm scared of the treetop.
Yep.
I think my mana mass is off because I thought I had to do it. I was thinking that Thali was still in play and I need 4 mana for the counterspell. I only need 3.
I'm still happy with the down payment here. I think, even though it is a bit of a math error, fundamentally you're just going to be liberating that mana and being able to double spell in the turn and hold up a counter spell. It's going to be pretty sweet. So that Mother of Runes resolves, I assume, in the next turn you're planning to go down with Khan to 3, Electrolyze Mother and Vryn Wingmare have 2 mana up ready to go for a counterspell. That feels good.
And I've got 1 blocker if he wants to chip in, but he doesn't want to throw away mana elves to...
Yeah.
I wouldn't think.
I like it. I really like that. Not knowing anything else in the hand other than the counterspell, I like it.
Ugh.
Here it is, Assassin's Trophy.
So that's
and there's the counterspell.
Yeah.
He knew the counterspell because he gave you the counterspell off Khan, but he has to burn through it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Just has to. And he does this in your upkeep, so it
yeah.
taps you down, costs you 3 mana, and you can't really electrolyze unless you draw a land.
Yeah.
But he knows you've got Hallowed Fountain in hand because he gave you the Hallowed Fountain as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty painful turn for Beckett here. So going to 3, having Electrolyze, playing your Hallowed Fountain, shocking yourself, electrolyzing Mum and Vryn Wingmare, being tapped out, and then hoping your opponent doesn't just slam Siege Rhino or Garruk or something.
Yeah. So I will be tapped out and vulnerable.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, I've got an active Planeswalker.
Yep.
I'm ahead.
Absolutely.
And my life total's 19.
And he can't get you with like a Noble Hierarch, Like there's no way he can just magically kill that Planeswalker out of nowhere because Assassin's Trophy's gone, Abrupt Decay doesn't do it.
Strangleroot
Council's
Geist?
Judgment needs... Or Council's Judgment could be a thing. Strangleroot Geist... Ooh, this into Strangleroot Geist? Do you just go like pod your Mana Dork, pod your Arbor Elf into Strangleroot Geist, attack the Khan, force you to block. Next turn, Strangleroot Geist becomes the Revolt guy,
Renegade
Rallier, and then return Strangleroot Geist, and then it has haste. Yeah, I that's a line. I'm thinking like a turn ahead here, but like getting Geist, attacking, trading with your token. Khan then does something. Next turn, Geist turns into Renegade Rallier, turns into Geist again, which still has haste.
Unless the Geist is still on board with the unknown.
No, because it will die because you trade off with your thing and then it pods away.
Oh, pods away,
Yeah,
yes,
yep.
yeah, okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Just max possible value.
So I just took the damage. I took the damage there. I didn't chump block.
That's interesting.
Because I didn't want to power up the guy.
That is really interesting. Okay. Because I think, because he's got a pod on the battlefield, I think I have to trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because like leaving him with a Geist that's going to have haste next turn, so he can pod the Geist into a 3-drop, and he has a 3/2 haster. Yeah.
But look at that.
Wow!
Swords
Bolt. 2 removal spells. Obviously gives you Bolt because Swords is really, really good. That's so... You got like massively paid off for not blocking.
Because now I can Lightning Bolt the Strangleroot Geist, and even though it comes back, it won't be attacking.
Exactly. That's really, really good. And the thing is, you can even better, you can sandbag that Swords to Plowshares to permanently deal with the Geist at a later point in the game.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. So this is a brainstorm. Brainstorming at this stage of the game when your opponent is on 1 card in hand is always just like, you just feel so far ahead. But you're not that far ahead. Right?
No.
Your opponent has active pod, a haste creature that could be a 3/3. You do have the Bolt, obviously, but this is, it's not a slam dunk.
No, I've got Mental Misstep. Oh, Dak. Okay.
Dak Faden taking pod.
Yeah.
And here we see why Dak Faden dramatically warps the meta of Highlander. So, everyone has, strong feelings about artifacts in Highlander and points on artifacts and the like, but fundamentally, Dak Faden changes Highlander. Tinker is hard to get, Blightsteel, blah, 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 pods and equipment. So here's the play you were talking about before. So you don't even block and just turn it into a 3/3. You just bolt it first. What do you think? In retrospect, would you just block there and just make it a 3/3?
And then kill it.
and then have a bolt in hand. Because then you could always kill it later, and you can always get the Swords of Plowshares back at some point.
Yeah, no, that's good, yeah. Although here I need the swords for the Siege Rhino.
Or
I think
or do you keep your token around because you can pod the token into something?
I don't have a 1-drop.
There's no 1-drops. Okay, 0 1-drops.
Oh, no, I think you're
1-drop into Jacebird's Prodigy, into Vendilion Click.
I'm probably just thinking you never know when that token's going to be useful, but
Yeah.
I think your play is definitely good. Now he's thinking, I've lost here. He hasn't taken the swords for the Siege Rhino. He's taken this one. Why did he do that?
Yeah, I would be worried too. Yeah, you're just like, wow, Siege Rhino has trample, and then you're not getting the swords. You're getting the fringy furnace thing. So yeah, that's fair. Oh, another reason of blocking with the token, because he could draw balance, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that now.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Sure, losing like 3 lands isn't great, but it would be pretty good to wrath the board.
Oh yeah, definitely balance when I got the Planeswalkers. I'm up to something.
Yeah, you are up to something.
I'm looking at a lot of cards.
So Dak discarded a land and a, what was that, Blood Moon?
Blood Moon, yeah.
So you get rid of those things, and
you're right. He did get the
brainstorm.
basics, but we had to with Field of Ruin.
Yeah, no choice. No choice. So Beckett's going, hang on, something fishy's up here. You didn't get the swords. What do you have in hand? What is it, like Path? He's going through all these possible permutations.
What do you think it is?
Look, I'm thinking Path. That's the. I don't know what's in your list, but I'm feeling like it's Path. What is this?
Mystical.
Oh no! Mystical for Entreat, and then crack the claws. Entreat out 3 tokens. What is that? 1, 2. So you got to pay 1 to crack the claws. 4 tokens. Wow.
Yeah, so he scooped it up.
That is amazing. Yep, so you double block the Siege Rhino, block the other things, kill them all, and untap, and you can attack for 16 or 15 or 12 and have 3 Planeswalkers. That is strong. Awesome. That was an awesome match. I'm so glad I got to watch and commentate on it with you.
Yes, and the Khan's still there.
The card is there from the beginning of the game.
I accelerated the Khan out on turn 3 with the Chrome Mox, and he went the whole game.
I remember our discussion about Chrome Mox, how I was like, sometimes you just like to vault ahead in mana, and we never really thought about it. And then you're like, wait a second, with balance, this is insane. I can just have 1 less card and 1 less land.
And it's handy against and with Blood Moon.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
I love it. That was an awesome match, and I have to say that congratulations are in order for Drew Carter. We have to all welcome him into the Hall of Heroes.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I was very thankful and relieved to get the W
yeah.
there.
The sweat off the brow just he got there, and they were really good games as well. Beckett was kind of a bit minor screwed on this particular game, but we got to see the balance deck in full force, Bourbon and Coke, firing on all cylinders, and actually using the 2-point Mystical Tutor and just showing the power of that instant speed interaction.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thanks very much for joining us. We are Adelaide Eternal. We will be back with some more Eternal action, and we hope to see you, or you will be seeing us, at Eternal Weekend. Eternal Weekend, the first weekend of April, you will be seeing coverage from us for the Highlander Cup, the Adelaide Eternal Legacy Cup, and those 2 events are not only massive events with Mox Emerald and the like for first, and a bevy of duels for the top 8, but also we have the coveted Adelaide Eternal Cups as well, trophies.
For Highlander and Legacy, and we'll be filming a lot of matches then and uploading them as well.
It's going to be so sweet. Alright, we hope to see you there, or you will see us online.
Bye guys.